people. Hello. It's me, Marty, your ever-loving host on the Morning Night Live. And we had a lot going on this weekend. There was another primary. Surprise, sort of, not really. And people are getting sick all over the country. We're dropping like flies, and I shouldn't say that. Yes, we've lost 2 people to the virus to end all viruses, and we'll talk about that a little bit, but I'll wait till after the intro. So, poof. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Knight. Stop the music. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Night Live. It's a new month, March 2nd, 2020. And it's Monday, so we get a little love. It's not so much metal today, but at least it's rock. It's a rock music Monday for my friends here at the Morning Night Live. Good morning, everyone in the chat. I'm glad y'all are here. I don't know if you can hear that. I gotta turn this up because I can't tell if that music's even playing. Oh, there it is. Oh, now this is supposed to be an instrumental. What the hell? All right, let's fix that. We're gonna go to something else. And all right, there we go. It's Metal Monday on the Morning Night Live. For those of you who are into my music themes, now I can turn it down in my ears so I don't have to hear it so loud. And what? Yeah, can't hear it now. All right, rock on. So, before I get started, let's say good morning, everybody, like I do every day. Becca Farley, thank you for being here first, and you get the bell. Plus, thank you also for tweeting out the show. If you're not following on Twitter, you can either retweet me or you can retweet Becca. I'm going to put Becca's in the chat because, you know what? She beat me to it. She deserves the retweets. There you go. You can retweet her version of the show. Or if you want to put it on other types of social media, hit the share arrow down below. And that can send it out to, Facebook and Tumblr and Pinterest and LinkedIn and all those other places you use it for social media. And I'd be really appreciative because we're getting close to that 600 subscriber mark. I'm close. Also, let's do this. I got to finish saying hi. Hello, Mad Max, who's also in the chat. Tyler F., Chicago Mike, James Colley. Welcome from that other side of the night. James, good to have you here. Good morning, Seamus Derby, Advocatus Diaboli, Midnight in Exile, Quinn the Cultist, Richo, my friend from Down Under, D.I. Freighter, Green Badger Outdoors, and let's see, who else is here? People are killing it out here. Let's see. That's Bearcock. I chuckle every time. And good morning, Gunfox61. If I miss you, just start working it up in the chat. We got people here all over the place. Also, if you like what we do, make sure sometime during the show you hit the like button, which is that thumbs up arrow. And also, if you want to do super chats, you can do those through the Streamlabs link, which is at PDawg Night Live, my website there. PDawgNight.live is my Streamlabs link. You can click there. It'll be in the chat once in a while. And I'll read whatever you write for the most part, as long as you keep it reasonable. I may do some mild editing for my own personal safety, and that's how it goes. And also, good morning, Texas Red. How you doing? I'm glad you all are here. So, and Duck Dog too, I forgot. Yes, Gunfox Buttigieg ends his historic presidential campaign, urges unity. That's a good segue there, Gunfox, because that's what I want to talk about. Yes, another one gone, and another one's gone. Another one bites the dust. Hey, yes, Pete Buttigieg has dropped out. In fact, I'll just go right to the Daily Wire article on this one because I didn't pay attention that closely this weekend, and they did. So here we go. Far left Democratic presidential candidate. Is he far left compared to the other Democrats? Not really. Well, but of course that Overton window has shifted quite a bit. Anyway, they say far left presidential candidate Buttigieg is dropping out of the race after a disastrous showing during the South Carolina primary. Political reporter Carla Marinucci reported Pete Buttigieg to announce he is out of the presidential race. His staff now hearing the news in a campaign call. Sources tell us Mr. Buttigieg was trounced in South Carolina primary and earned just 2% of the vote from African Americans, according to early exit polling, New York Times reported. What support he received came mostly from young black voters. He appeared to have barely any votes from African Americans who are 60 and older, according to the exit polling. Black voters decisively backed former Vice President Joe Biden, who won the primary. Bernie Sanders and hedge fund billionaire Tom Steyer drew low double-digit reports from African Americans. I don't know why they focus just on African Americans, although in South Carolina, 65% of the Democratic primary voters are African Americans, so maybe that's why. Good morning, RVA, by the way. I see you popped in also. Buttigieg has been scheduled to headline a rally in Dallas Sunday night. The charter plane has been rerouted to South Bend, Indiana, where Buttigieg announced that he is dropping out. So this is from yesterday. He has officially dropped out. Now, that's interesting. Legal expert Josh Hammer summed up the way that many conservatives viewed Buttigieg, writing on Twitter, this: Pete Buttigieg was perhaps, aside from Eric Swalwell, the single most insufferable member of the 2020 Democratic field. His smugness knew no bounds, his warping of Christian doctrine to suit his own worldview was grotesque, and his incessant jihad against Mike Pence was simply gross. You know, especially since Mike Pence and he got along when Mike Pence was the governor. It's very interesting how he turned on Mike Pence just for political expediency. But he apparently, Daily Wire highlighted some of his extreme policy stance. Hey, I don't care anymore because he's gone. Okay? And what's going to be interesting to see is where his delegates go. Perhaps they have a copy of his speech because I want to focus on that, because there was something that I heard that his speech said that he wanted to do what was best for the Democratic Party and then the country. And I'm thinking, well, why would you, if you were running for president, don't you think that you would think your running for president would have been best for the country, and maybe not so much the party? But I think he's worried. Obviously the established Democrats are just terrified, and I mean terrified, of a Joe Biden, or not Joe Biden, excuse me, from a Bernie Sanders candidacy. First, Bernie's not a Democrat. He's a social Democrat, which is or Democratic Socialist, Socialist Democrat, Democratic Socialist, which is, to me, it's funny. Some people got in an argument this weekend of what that means, and I say it still means he's a socialist, he's a commie, and he's always been a commie, and whatever. I know that's really not nice to say, but anyway, Goodbye, Peter. Okay, I can't even say it because I can't figure out how to make the words fit the song. Goodbye, Buttigieg. Nobody knows how to say your name except a few people who are just paying attention. But anyway, oh, by the way, also, it's not just Mayor Pete who's gone, though. Also, Tom Steyer ends his campaign after a disappointing finish in South Carolina. Now, you may be wondering, who the hell is Tom Steyer? But, yes, he's the anti-Trump billionaire, whatever. Another billionaire running. What the hell is this? What's this ad doing on my thing? He was the billionaire from Colorado, I think. Is he from Colorado? Something like that. He's the global warming candidate. He's the anti-Trump candidate. He's the impeach Trump candidate. Good morning, Maniac Man. Let's see. Tom Steyer ends campaign after a disappointing finish in South Carolina. Hey, he came in third, didn't he? I thought he came in third. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Let's go here. South Carolina primary results. Let's see. Let's take a look here. We'll do this. We'll do the CNN one. Here we go. Okay, so we got Joe Biden with a commanding win. 48% of the vote, got 38 delegates. Bernie Sanders came in second with 105,000, so less than about 2/5 of what Joe Biden got. He ended up with 15 delegates. Tom Steyer came in third, 11% of the vote, but no delegates because I don't know how that works. I think you have to get 15% minimum in any state to get any delegates. He got 0, and he still has. He's still at 0. Buttigieg now came in at 8.2%, and mostly because the old black folks were voting for Biden because they figure Biden is the closest thing to Obama. I don't know why, but Buttigieg only got 8.2%, no delegates. Now it's fascinating because he did well in Iowa. Obviously, he got Bernie Sanders split the delegates lead in Iowa. They split the delegate lead in Nevada. Now Sanders handily won New Hampshire. But it's surprising to me that Buttigieg and Steyer, who came in third and fourth in South Carolina, are out. Now I wonder if they assume that their delegates or votes or whatever are going to go to Biden. Biden on Super Tuesday. No one's expecting Biden to do well on Super Tuesday. They were just expecting South Carolina because Biden kind of moved all his eggs in that basket early and got a lot of support from the black community there, particularly House Representative member James Clyburn, who did his endorsement, which was a pretty big deal in South Carolina. And, should Buttigieg have stuck it out, or is he saying that he doesn't want to hurt the party because he thinks that his votes will kind of go to Biden and Steyer's votes are not going to go to Sanders? Steyer's votes are probably going to, Steyer's, who knows where his votes go. He didn't have enough for anyone to care about, except in South Carolina where he spent millions and millions of dollars. But anyway, Steyer ends his campaign. Apparently my article is frozen there. Oh, there we hit. No thanks there. Now I can. Am I frozen again? I'm having a little trouble here today. Let's see here. Hang on a second. Okay, it's just that page is frozen. All right, we'll close that page. F that. And try it again. Let's go. Steyer's. Here we go. Billionaire Tom Steyer put an end to his bid for the 2020 Democratic nomination Saturday after a less than stellar finish in South Carolina, according to a report from the Associated Press. Steyer was set to announce his withdrawal from the primary just hours after the contest was called for former Vice President Joe Biden. Steyer took third in South Carolina behind Biden and independent Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, but that wasn't enough to keep him in the race because he has no delegates yet. Speaking to a group of supporters in Columbia, Steyer concluded that he could no longer see a path forward. There's no question today that this campaign we were disappointed with where we came out. But I said if I didn't see a path to winning, that I'd suspend my campaign, and honestly, I just can't see a path where I can win the presidency. Well, nobody could from the very beginnings, Tom. I'm just going to tell you, nobody saw that path. Steyer had just over 11% of the vote, with 68% reporting. He has already poured millions into both his own presidential bid and his need to impeach ad campaign. So yeah, he was the big impeach guy for a long time, and he put millions of dollars in that campaign. Real quick, good morning to Fred Fernston and Maddie House of Geek and Axonar and Diz. Lots of people showing up today. Glad you are here. Welcome to the show. If you're not, by the way, if you're here and you haven't been here often or before, please make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and make sure you hit the bell so that you know you get notifications. You can also follow me right down there at Twitter, Binds and Gab, all at PDawg with a WG. And a knight, spelled like knight in shining armor, which sometimes I am, and sometimes I just feel like it's still night where I should be sleeping, but that's okay. That's how it is. It is how it is. All right. So anyway, so Steyer's out, Buttigieg is out, and interesting though, for Elizabeth Warren though seems to be going on this, what's it called? Kind of a Stop Bernie thing. There's a Stop Bernie thing going on. I think that's why Buttigieg jumped out, because he's thinking maybe his support will go to Biden. But this is interesting. Warren goes Stop Bernie, lashes out after South Carolina vows a convention fight. Bernie supporters turned fury on Warren in response, call her a fraud, backstabber, and a snake. So now they've taken their ire from Mayor Pete and they're putting it on Elizabeth Warren. Former Vice President Joe Biden convincingly won the South Carolina Democratic primary on Saturday with 48% of the vote, while Senator Elizabeth Warren came in an embarrassing fifth place with only 7% and no delegates. For context, anti-Trump billionaire Tom Steyer came in third with 11% and probably dropped out. An obviously rattled Warren took to the stage in Houston, where she ranted and raved, attacking her Democratic opponents and generally seeming a bit unhinged. Should we watch this? I haven't seen this, but maybe we should watch this. Let's check out. Let's see, how long is it? Ooh, 31 minutes? No. We're not. No. We're not going to listen to the principal yell at us for 31 minutes. Ain't happening. Hello, Grilling Pirate Pete. Anyway, while she began by graciously congratulating Biden on his impressive win, her speech quickly became a train wreck. She declares that her goal is to amass as many delegates as she can. She got zero in South Carolina and had to get as many delegates as she can and head to the convention. Now, here's someone tweeted here, MSNBC now calling on Steyer to drop out because his third place showing proves he's not a viable and is hurting Biden. Warren just now, as she's fifth place in South Carolina, on why she's staying in the race. We want to gain as many delegates going into the convention as we can. No more talk of winning states. Rhetoric is now just about winning some delegates and staying till a contested convention. I don't know if she thinks she's going to. If there's a contested convention, let's say Bernie Sanders doesn't get the 50% plus one delegates prior to the primary, so on the first vote. So all these people getting delegates, and Bernie does not get 50% plus one. Okay, then they go to a second vote, and it could be a contested convention, right? But I don't know. And then the second vote, the superdelegates can join in. Now, the superdelegates, the superdelegates in the Democratic Party are basically just the old school Democrats, former National Democratic Committee chairman, former governors and presidents, and just bigwigs of the Democratic Party. And they get a little bit of an extra vote somehow. I don't know how it works exactly, but she thinks that if there's a contested convention, that they're going to pick her? Really?
Wow.
No, they're not. Now, she was the media darling when she first declared for candidacy. But she's not even. Here's the thing. If that happened and they decided they was going to have a brokered convention, do you think they would pick her over, dare I say it? Dare I say it? Do you think they would pick her over Hillary Rodham Clinton? Oh, wouldn't that just be classic? They end up having a broker convention and they try to draw up Hillary because they look, the DNC does not want Bernie as their candidate, because someone earlier in the chat, I caught a glance of it, how she's not gonna, or excuse me, Bernie Sanders will have zero as far as coattails, not to mention the fact that Bernie's not going to win independents. Bernie's not going to win. Even people who are wavering Republicans are not going to vote for Bernie Sanders. I'm just telling you right now. I'm sorry. Yes, you can offer to give everyone thing for free, but people are going to start doing math and going, hey, this guy's crazy. So, yeah, Democrats are not going to allow Bernie, so it'll be down to Biden and Warren. And who are they going to pick? I don't know which. Well, the one with dementia, the one who's nuts. I don't know, man. Anyway, so now they have some tweets out here. She lashed out at her Democratic opponents and in the process managed to throw fire on the slow-burning feud between herself and Socialist Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont. Part of this has to be a reaction to Bernie actively campaigning in Massachusetts and polling ahead of Warren in her home state. He's also fundraising more than she is. The AP reports Sanders raised about $46.5 million, and Warren has received about $29 million. Yeah, he's gonna beat her in Massachusetts, which is her home state. Here, let's see what this clip is. This might be a shorter one. Hang on. Oh, 9 seconds.
We want to gain as many delegates to the convention as we can, from California to right here in Texas.
Okay, and you have 0 so far.
We want to gain
let's see. And then after her 5th place finish, she decides to go after Bernie. Here it is.
Texas demands more than a senator who has good ideas, but whose 30-year track record shows he consistently calls for things that fail to get done and consistently opposing things that nevertheless he fails.
Okay, so shots fired. Shots fired. But that's none of my business. Okay, let's see. Warren on Biden. She did congratulate him earlier, then said this. This crisis demands more than a former vice president so eager to cut deals with Mitch McConnell and the Republicans that he'll trade good ideas for bad ones. And then the toughest Warren on Bernie I've heard. This crisis demands more than a senator who has good ideas, but whose 30-year track record shows. Okay, that's what she just said. Sean King says, because everyone wants to know what Sean King's thinking, but Sean King says Elizabeth Warren also gave an anti-Bernie speech tonight. Crystal Ball, she's the former MSNBC anchor who now does videos and interviews for The Hill. Let's be clear about what this PAC. Okay, let's see. Okay, first of all, she's replying to Samuel D. Finkelstein. Elizabeth wants you to know that she tried, she really did, but her super PAC simply refused to disclose who gave it $14 million till after Super Tuesday. They're not really, Bernie people are not real happy about super PAC. So Crystal Ball replies, let's be clear about what this PAC is. It's a Stop Bernie PAC. Warren isn't projected to win a single state. Do you really think donors would throw in millions at this point because they believe she can win? No, it's because they believe bolstering Warren will keep Bernie from a majority. That's kind of where it is right now, isn't it? They're trying to stop Bernie. They don't want Bernie. Politico reports Elizabeth Warren responded to her fourth straight loss Saturday night by taking direct aim at her rivals, including Bernie Sanders. We just heard that one. And then finally, Warren's campaign seems to suggest that she's now trying to eat into Bernie's delegate count and hashtag stop Bernie. New in a memo, Elizabeth Warren campaign manager Roger Lau basically admits the Warren candidacy is now a convention effort. No candidate will likely have a path to the majority of delegates. Milwaukee is the final play. Ultimately prevail at the national convention. That's what they want to do. So anyway, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting, the strategy. Bernie supporters were already seething after she accused him of sexism and for claiming he sought an unfair advantage in the Democratic primary with his about face on the question of how many delegates a candidate must amass before clinching the party's presidential nomination. Last night's statements appear to have been the final straw for them. They're saying, if you're a progressive and you defend or have sympathy for Elizabeth Warren at this point, then you are a clown. Oh my, this is a whole bunch of anti-Warren hate going on right now. Being in the lead and then falling so dramatically has unleashed a bottom of the barrel level of desperation from Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren is a corporate snake. I will unfollow anyone still calling this backstabbing fraud a progressive. There are so many things I want to say, but I would probably lose my Twitter account for that. Sign of a woman who's about to lose her state to a real progressive. What'd she say here?
Demands more than a senator.
Okay, that's who she's harping on Bernie. The Bernie people are really, really going after Elizabeth Warren. Sean King again. It appears tonight Elizabeth Warren is, after struggling mightily in 4 states, just decided to throw Bernie Sanders under the bus. It's sad to see her make this turn. Even after this, Bernie would never speak ill of her. That's probably true because Bernie's not exactly a fighting type. Yeah. So anyway, I think we've had enough of that crap. Let's talk coronavirus now. Speaking of coughing and ill will. By the way, I do have my cup of reparations coffee in hand, and it is delicious. Thank you. By the way, if you're here and you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button right now. In fact, let me check something real quick. I just want to check. I don't pay attention to it. Give me a second. My channel. Oh, we're at 598 subscribers away from 600. That's awesome. I must have a couple new ones recently that I didn't see. All right, let's get into let's talk a little bit about coronavirus because that seems to be the mega hot topic. Oh, what? Wait, what? God, it's not progressive whatsoever. It's outdated nonsense. Yeah, it's certainly is. Check your email. Okay, we'll do that too. I'll just open that up. But I'm gonna get to that in a bit. But let's talk about coronavirus. Now, I have this article by. So everyone's over the weekend. The president made a speech. Basically ripping the politicized coverage of coronavirus. He was at one of his rallies, okay? And one of his complaints is that no matter what they do, the media is trying to instill fear. Here, President Donald Trump said members of the media are doing everything they can to instill fear in people over the coronavirus and defend his administration's response to the viral outbreak. Now, we went over that a lot on Thursday, what they were doing. And it's funny because it's one of those things. We're in a country of 350 million, 330 million, whatever it is, between 330 and 350 million people. And we're seeing some cases, and we're going to see more cases. And 2 people have died now. And so all over Twitter, it's Trump virus, and Pence flu and all this other BS, reminding everybody that about 60,000 people, 60,000 people a year die from the flu. So I'm trying to keep it in somewhat some perspective, but anyway, so Trump's mad at the media a little bit. I think CNN is a very disreputable network, Trump told reporters on the White House lawn Friday. I think they're doing everything they can to instill fear in people, and I think it's ridiculous. Some of the Democrats are doing it the way they should be, but some of them are trying to gain political favor by saying a lot of untruths. Now, he was at a rally in, I want to say it was in South Carolina before the primary, and he was talking about how that some Democrats and some in the media, I know that's redundant, but we're talking about the administration's response to the virus. And he was saying, it's almost like it's a hoax, like we're doing nothing. And it went all over Twitter. Donald Trump just called the coronavirus a hoax. No, he did not. He was talking about how you assholes are saying that what he did. So, for example, the one that I see over and over and over. In fact, what's the little dude, Krassenstein dude, who tweets on his wife's account? Every day I see someone, well, Donald Trump cut funding for the CDC. No, he didn't. And Donald Trump killed the task force that does something for something kind of viruses. Well, sort of. He replaced it with this National Biodefense Strategy in 2018, which is a 30-page report on what they do in the cases of types of different kinds of biohazards and viruses that could cause an epidemic. And, just telling all all this bullshit. Anyway, the stock market experienced its worst week since the financial crisis in 2008 over fears of the virus's impact on the international economy. Democratic presidential contenders made false claims about Trump cutting the budgets of the National Institutes of Health and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. An Associated Press fact check, which we read last Friday, also found that leadership in these agencies remained stable despite Michael Bloomberg's claim that there was nobody here to deal with the virus. Yeah, the bureaucrats haven't left. The bureaucrats are still there doing the same thing they do. See, I'm getting it. Doing the same thing they do with every other health emergency like they did during Bush and Obama. They're doing all the same shit. Okay? Trump hasn't gotten rid of any of those things. Trump also defended the administration's decision to restrict travel to and from China, where the coronavirus was first discovered. Now, the next article I'm going to read to you is going to be about that, because it's funny that, some people are blaming him for some people who were flown back to the country with coronavirus. Wait to hear this one. Anyway, Trump says the fact is I made one decision that was a very important decision, and that was to close our country to a certain area of the world that was relatively heavily infected, Trump said. Had that decision not been made, it could have been a much different story. Some people are giving us credit for that, and some people aren't. The only ones who aren't, they don't mean it. It's political. It's politics, he added. CNN criticized the Trump administration task force for its lack of diversity, because that's the most important thing that we worry about when we have a task force worried about the nation's health, is that, oh my God, it has to be a diversity. I want medical experts, and if they happen to be diverse, then that's fine. But if they don't happen to be diverse, I don't care. I just want them to make sure that as few people as possible get this stupid disease. But I digress. The Washington Post also, shocker, the Washington Post criticized something the president did. Shocker. The Washington Post also criticized the appointment of Vice President Mike Pence to lead the government response due to Pence's handling of an HIV outbreak as governor of Indiana in 2015. But people who've studied that actually realize that Mike Pence did a pretty good job with that. Anyway, House Republicans walked out of a closed-door meeting after Representative Rosa DeLauro started the meeting by criticizing the administration's response. Another Democratic Congresswoman, Representative Donna Shalala, expressed frustration with her colleague for the criticism, telling Politico no one wanted to hear that, neither the Democrats nor Republicans. We just wanted to hear the substance. Yeah, so anyway. But let's go now. This is a fascinating story. Let's see. I agree they shouldn't have flown people back from China. They shouldn't have flown them to a location not in the mainland USA. Midway, Wake Island, another island with medical setup. Well, here's the thing. So it's interesting because the bureaucracy that in place made the decisions and apparently didn't inform President Trump on a couple of them. And here's a story by Dan Greenfield, who really decided to bring infected people to the United States. 2 months after the outbreak of the coronavirus, hashtag Trump virus began trending on Twitter. Why? Because it's the only chance that Democrats have of winning back the White House in 2020. Saddled with broken primaries, whose nominee after a possible broken convention will either be a socialist who admires communists, a senile lecher who admires young girls, or a billionaire who admires power, the coronavirus is a much more effective candidate than Sanders, Biden, or Bloomberg. Trump virus hashtag follows in the footsteps of hashtag Trump hurricane, which attempted to blame a natural disaster and local corruption in Puerto Rico on President Trump. And that just dusted off the smears and slanders of Hurricane Katrina and substituted Puerto Ricans for black people and Trump for Bush, not to mention the CDC for FEMA. Both the truth about the disaster relief and pandemic management is that it hasn't changed much between administrations. The Bush administrations dealt with SARS in much the same way that the Obama administration addressed swine flu, and the Trump administration is doing most of the same things. That's because the actual decisions are being made by bureaucrats based on existing protocols. See, they don't change the protocols just because of a new president. The best example of this was the decision to fly back infected American passengers from the Diamond Princess. This fateful decision helped spread the virus inside the United States. President Trump had been told that nobody with the coronavirus would be flown to America. The State Department decided to do it anyway without telling him and only made the announcement shortly after the planes landed in the United States. According to the Washington Post, as unfriendly as an outlet to the administration as there is, quote, Trump has since had several calls with top White House officials to say he should have been told that it should have been his decision and that he did not agree with the decision that was made. Who in the State Department actually made the decision? Well, that's a very good question. According to a State Department briefing, the mission was carried out by the Directorate of Operational Medicine with the Bureau of Medical Services. You might think that sounds like it would be part of HHS or NIH, but the Bureau of Medical Services is actually an arm of the State Department. Huh. Hello, Rhetorical Entertainment, by the way, and Midnight in Exile. And TC Bell, and the gayest person on YouTube. Hi, everybody. The Directorate of Operational Medicine is a part of the bureau assigned to deal with crisis response with a $250 million portfolio and a lot of employees that almost no one outside of DC ever heard of, at least unless you remember an event at which Barack Obama honored Dr. William Walters, the head of the directorate, for evacuating Ebola patients to the United States. Yeah, that was brilliant too. Now remember, the decision to move Kent back to the United States was controversial. Some worried about bringing the diseases to our shore, but what folks like Williams knew was that we had to make the decisions based not on fear but on science, Obama said. By some, Obama meant, among others, Trump, who had been a strong critic of the move. Despite Obama's enso and dance, the State Department had badly botched the Ebola evacuations. Under Bush, the CDC had prepped an evacuation aircraft for flying out contagious Americans, but the Obama administration shelved the gear because of the cost and then failed to make use of it. The evacuation process led to the same infighting between the State Department and the CDC now. Dr. William Walters is still on duty. In 2017, Walters was boasting of prepping more Ebola evacuations, even over President Trump's opposition to the practice, and he was once again at the wheel now. The question was simply this: are these evacuees, Walter explained, the decision to evacuate coronavirus patients to the United States? And do we follow our protocol? And the answer to that was yes on both accounts. Now! And that's just it. This is a bureaucrat deciding that they are in charge of American policy. Does that sound familiar at all? Is this beginning to sound familiar? Remember that? What's that guy? The twin brother guy who thought President's call to Zelensky was contrary to American foreign policy goals. The little bureaucrat dude. Anyway. Consulting President Trump was not a part of the protocol, even on a major national security issue. In a congressional briefing, Walters boasted that, quote, the department executed the largest non-military evacuation of U.S. citizens in its history. The safe and efficient evacuation of 1,174 people from Wuhan, China, and people on board the Diamond Princess cruise ship in Japan is a testament to the agility, proficiency, and dedication of our workforce to accomplishing our core mission, the advancing the interests of the American people, and the triumph of the administrative state and its bureaucratic protocols over the president. At a State Department briefing, Walters stated that the chief of the mission right through the U.S. Embassy is ultimately the head of all executive branch activities. That's a big problem right there. So Walters got his job in 2011. He's a relic of the Obama era. It doesn't mean that his politics are those of his former boss, but this is not about him. It's about the reality that the White House doesn't make any of the most vital decisions and doesn't even know that they're being made too late. And what that means beyond politics of the moment is that people don't decide. There's a bureaucratic process that you do and you just do it, right? You can vote one way or another, and the real decisions that matter will still be made by the head of the directorate, that is the subsection of the bureau that you never heard of, but that was the budget in the hundreds of millions, a small army at its disposal, and will follow whatever the protocol is. Maybe they should oh my God. So nobody has to really make a decision. They just do whatever the protocol says to do. This is how the country is really run. And that's the problem. The underlying problem with our government is that it's too big to control. Voting in an election or even sitting in the Oval Office doesn't mean you're in charge. The problem goes beyond the current obsession with the deep state. The real issue has always been the deep industry or administrative state. If the coronavirus becomes a critical problem in this country, the blame will go back on an obscure arm of the State Department, but will never be placed there. Whatever happens a year from now, no one outside a small professional class will have ever heard of the Directorate of Operational Medicine, a State Department official. The media will spend all its time bashing Trump, Pence, assorted cabinet members, and perhaps the CDC without ever drilling down the facts, even though it had them at hand. The media's rule of thumb is that natural disasters and disease outbreaks are always successfully managed by Democrats and mismanaged by Republicans. Katrina and Maria were disasters, but Sandy was a success story. The coronavirus is a catastrophe, but Ebola virus was handled by smart people who are handling the coronavirus response. But it's different because who the guy in the White House is. The truth is that all these were mismanaged by the same agencies, by the same people, and by a government infrastructure that excels at drawing up sweet budget proposals, but is inept at solving problems when they actually emerge. And just follow whatever protocols will cover the collective issue, the protocols which will cover their collective asses. All the rest is a matter of the uncontrollable and innate qualities of the storm or the disease and the story that the media chooses to tell about the disaster in the service of its political agenda, which is always in one direction. I added that little last part because it is. Let's see. I'm not going to go into. That's enough of that article. That's the gist of it. Okay. So yeah. Even the fact that they brought all those people here with the virus from that cruise ship and whatnot, it's just crazy. Let's see, just some other headlines about it. Fact check: Obama waited until millions infected and 1,000 dead in the U.S. before declaring H1N1 an emergency. If you remember that, disaster. Let's see. Health and Human Services Director Azar, coronavirus risk remains low in the United States. So far, that's true. Here, the coronavirus numbers are not what they seem. Let's check this one out real quick. Okay, so the purpose of this one is not to... Let's see. The purpose of this slightly pedantic discussion is not to minimize the significance of the new coronavirus, but rather to put into perspective some of the media's warning of apocalypse. This is what I was talking about earlier. You know, the numbers are so incredibly low compared to other diseases right now. Now that could change, but we're throwing people into a tizzy over this. Fractions are taught in elementary school, but adults sometimes still manage to misunderstand how they work in everyday life. I was reminded of that after President Trump's Saturday press conference, which focused on the federal government's response to the Wuhan coronavirus, formerly known as SARS-CoV-2, which is now COVID-19. So let's explain. Dr. Anthony Fauci, the articulate veteran director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. God, these stupid posts and titles have so many words. How about head doc of infections? That would make more sense. Described at the presser how the efforts to prevent the spread or contain the virus would continue, but warned that we should expect a number of coronavirus cases in the U.S. to increase. Well, yes, of course we do. Because they were almost at zero relative to the population of the United States. Fauci emphasized that the chance of becoming infected remains low and that a majority of those who contract the virus, 75 to 80%, will experience it like a bad flu or cold. The other 15 to 20%, he said, may need advanced medical care. For the most part, the people who get in trouble and ultimately tragically die from this are people who are elderly or have underlying conditions, heart disease, chronic lung disease, diabetes, and obesity, Fauci said. Some of the "if it bleeds, it leads" media immediately jumped on the 15 to 20% figure, multiplied it by the entire U.S. population of about 330 million, and concluded that we might need 50 to 60 million hospital beds. For which we are unprepared. See how they do it? My God. Oh, check your logic. How you doing? Hello, Rhetorical Entertainment. I think, and Axonar, I think I said hi, but I'm going to say it again. And Cynical Lindsay, good morning. Not so fast. Recall the old quip that figures lie and liars figure. What Fauci didn't explain and the pundits failed to clarify is that the 15 to 20% figure is based on the number of official confirmed cases of COVID-19 in China, as reported by the country's public health officials. And that's where we need to understand where fractions come in. The 15 to 20% figure refers to the fraction of serious illnesses requiring advanced medical care, such as the administration of oxygen or hospitalization, divided by the number of confirmed cases of infection. But here's the rub. In China, there have been undoubtedly many, possibly very many, illnesses that were never confirmed because of a shortage of test kits and because people with asymptomatic or mild infections didn't seek medical attention at all. In other words, the denominator of the fraction is higher than the official number of cases, and therefore the 15 to 20% figure is unquestionably an overestimate of how many people need advanced medical care. A similar distortion occurs in estimates of this case, the case fatality rate, the fraction of people who are infected and die. Estimates of the coronavirus death rates from Wuhan, China, the epicenter of the outbreak, have been around 2%. But again, we have the problem of the uncertain denominator, which includes only confirmed cases. The true denominator is unquestionably much larger, which would make the true case fatality rate lower. And then they pointed out. So anyway, basically it's math that we're not sure how many people actually have it because not everyone has symptoms that are so bad that they even need to be, they might be screened, but it doesn't mean they're not part of that denominator of cases that they're actually looking at, because again, some people only may experience mild flu or cold conditions and not even get checked out, which is like many flus. A lot of people probably get the flu and never get it checked out. Anyway, all right, back here, and then finally I had one more. And then the president, they confirmed the first death to coronavirus. Trump and Pence confirmed first coronavirus death. Now there are two, both in the state of Washington, U.S., announced travel restrictions to Iran, Italy, and South Korea. President Trump announced the first coronavirus death in the U.S. Saturday during a press conference, adding that additional travel restrictions will be imposed on new countries. The president and Vice President Mike Pence gave updates about the coronavirus, noting that one high-risk patient died in the U.S. from it. Again, it was a high-risk patient, too. Just FYI. Hello, Johnny Blaze. How you doing, man? Welcome. The president, let's see. The woman who died was from Washington State. Trump added that 22 people in total in America have been diagnosed with the coronavirus, and that many of them are well on their way to recovery. By the way, remember the other day when I mentioned that it was well, it kind of caused the stock market to tank because Gavin Newsom, right after the press conference that Trump had, where he announced that Pence was going to be taking the charge of this. And that there were this X number of cases. And then Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, comes out and said, yes, but we have 3,800 cases that we are screening. Remember that? And everyone's like, wait a minute, 3,800 cases, 100 people have the virus in California? No. There's 3,800 people that they are screening who may think they have it, or they have symptoms that are, maybe just, we don't know. They could be regular flu season system. We don't know if they have it. They're screening, not, anyway, that's the kind of thing that causes panic. Okay. They still, of course, as of this speech, there were 22 actual cases that have been diagnosed, but now there's more in other states, but I'm just saying, anyway, Trump has a meeting on Monday to discuss a vaccine to combat the ever-growing virus. He said it's an important part of our efforts. On Monday, I'll be meeting with the largest pharmaceutical companies in the world, actually. Trump announced they'll be coming to the White House, and we're talking about a vaccine and developing it very quickly. And they've already started working on it, developing very rapidly a vaccine to combat the virus. So that's typical how Trump talks, and we're just got to repeats and whatever. But anyway, we already know that there's a couple places that are on a breakthrough on a vaccine for it. One was out of Israel. And I can't remember the other one. I read about it this weekend. So anyway, enough about coronavirus. All right, let's do this. It's almost that time. It's close enough. And I really just, this is a topic that drives me nuts because it's being so badly politicized. Let's see. Okay, now wait a minute. Here's somebody. I forgot about this one. Dr. Mark Siegel. Who is Dr. Mark Siegel? I've never seen an emerging contagion handled better. Okay, this guy will probably be accused of being a Trump sycophant, and of course it's on Breitbart, so take it with your Breitbart grain of salt, but that's okay. So they're whatever. The Trump administration is handling the coronavirus. I'm not even sure why I'm reading this one because I know no one's going to trust this source but me. The Trump administration is handling the coronavirus outbreak better than previous administrations addressed earlier emerging contagions, said Dr. Mark Siegel, professor of medicine at New York University, Fox News medical correspondent and author of The False Alarm, The Truth About the Epidemic of Fear. Siegel shares his analysis on Sirius XM Breitbart News Sunday with special guest host Joel Pollack. He states, I've been handling these emergency contagions for about 20 years now, and I have to tell you, I've never seen one handled better, said Siegel of President Trump's approach to the coronavirus outbreak. The Center for Disease Control erred in its messaging with the doom and gloom comment, framing the spread of coronavirus in the U.S. as inevitable without quantifying caveats, Siegel stated. It's not a question of if this will happen, but when this will happen and how many people in this country will have severe illnesses, said Dr. Nancy Messonnier, director of the CDC's Immunization and Respiratory Disease Division on Tuesday. Siegel praised the Trump administration, personal selection for its coronavirus task force headed by Vice President Mike Pence. The task force are really top players, said Siegel, noting the task force's inclusion of Dr. Anthony Fauci, director of the National Institute of Health and Infectious Disease. Fauci is one of the top infectious disease experts in the country, he noted. Siegel noted that the coronavirus task force inclusion of CDC Director Robert Redfield, a virologist, and Dr. Nancy Messonnier, an expert on vaccines. So he kept Nancy Messonnier on the team. Very good. Hello, Wes Strange. WW3 Armageddon, China bio-nuked the world with a weapon of mass destruction. Fact. Yeah, I guess we'll find out where this came from eventually, right? Oh, is this? Oh, I don't know. Is Wes? Are you saying Wes is a troll? I don't even know. Wes just got here. Let's give Wes a chance. But Wes, do me a favor. Hit your caps lock to turn off, okay? I'm not buying that. But anyway, welcome to the show. Hey, I'm glad you're here. You can troll away, buddy. I don't care. Anyway, they've been, according to Siegel, they've been doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing, said Siegel of the Trump administration's measures towards protecting Americans from the coronavirus. They are restricting travel, isolating patients who are sick, and trying to cut down on contact. It's a very hard thing to do when people are pouring in from all over the world. Siegel contrasted the coronavirus mortality rate with those of SARS, swine flu, and the flu. SARS had about a 10% mortality rate, but it only infected about 8,000 people, recalled Siegel. Swine flu had a very, very low mortality for flu, but the flu itself really only causes about a 0.4% death rate. And coronavirus is about 1.4%. So this is killing more than the flu, but I want to make a couple of points that will reassure people. One, at the beginning of an emergency contagion, it always appears more deadly than it actually is. The 1918 flu is an exception, but normally as time goes on, it's less deadly, and part of that is because you see more immunity appearing. And you also find a lot of milder cases, or even cases where people don't get sick at all. You find that as you start to test more people. Undiagnosed and asymptomatic persons infected with the coronavirus are not captured data in data for quantifying mortality rates, explained Siegel. We were just talking about that. There's a lot more people who have it that may only have mild symptoms and never get tested. Mild cases that are being undiagnosed make coronavirus seem more deadly. The coronavirus outbreak illustrates the need for American economy to decouple from China, assessed Siegel. We're relying on China for 90% of our ingredients for pharmaceuticals. That hopefully will change as a result of this, because we're going to end up with tremendous shortages of basic drugs, including antibiotics and blood pressure medications, if this continues much longer in Wuhan. So, yeah, it's funny. The response, no matter what the response is, no matter what the results is, we know that the press and the public will be harder on Trump than they would have been on another president who did the exact same thing, who followed the exact same protocols, who did all the same stuff. So it's really, it's a big challenge. All right. By the way, speaking of which, thank you, Gunfox. By the way, let's see, couple tabs here. Let's see. I'm going to just read the headlines of some of these. Chinese doctors perform performs world's first double lung transplant. Okay, I don't know what that is for coronavirus. Let's see here. Coronavirus outbreaks kill second person in Washington State. We knew that. China officials knew of coronavirus in December in order to cover up, according to reports. And here's the one that I want to hit on. Coronavirus may... Let's see, what's the source here? I don't know what this is. This... I'm not sure what this... BDC News... Oh, if this is from Boston.com, which is at the Boston Globe or the Boston Herald. I'm not really sure which one it is. But anyway, coronavirus may have spread undetected for weeks in the U.S. This strongly suggests that there has been cryptic transmission in Washington State for at least the past 6 weeks. The coronavirus has been circulating undetected and possibly infected scores of people over the past 6 weeks in Washington State, according to a genetic analysis of virus samples that has sobering implications for the entire country amid heightening anxiety about the likely spread of the disease. The researchers conducted genetic sequencing of 2 virus samples. One is from a patient who traveled from China to Snohomish County in mid-January and was the first person diagnosed with the disease in the United States. The other came from a recently diagnosed patient in the same county, a high school student with no travel-related or known exposure to the coronavirus. 2 samples look almost identical genetically, said Trevor Bedford, a computational biologist at Fred Hutchinson's Cancer Research Center in Seattle, who announced the results of this research on Twitter Saturday night. This strongly suggests that there has been cryptic transmission in Washington for the past 6 weeks, Bedford wrote. I believe we're facing an already substantial outbreak in Washington State that was not detected until now due to narrow case definition requiring direct travel to China. Officials in Seattle and King County on Sunday announced that 4 more people have tested positive for the coronavirus, including the second person in the state to die from the virus. This brings the outbreak in Washington State to 13 cases. Of 4 new cases, the 3 surviving patients range in age from their 70s to 90s, have underlying health conditions, and are in critical condition, health officials said. The first coronavirus death in the United States, which was announced Saturday. So that's not good. That's definitely not a good thing. Also, late Sunday night, let's see. Oh, here we go. The Health Department of Santa Clara County, California, in the heart of Silicon Valley, announced 3 new coronavirus cases Sunday evening, bringing to 7 the total number of cases there. The announcement gave few details about the cases. Late Sunday, the office of Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, a Republican, announced 2 presumptively positive cases of the coronavirus in Manatee and Hillsborough counties and declared a public health emergencies. California and Oregon, like Washington, have reported coronavirus infections in people who did not travel to the regions hit hard by the outbreak or have contact with people known to be infected. The United States has dozens of other confirmed infections, the majority of them people who were among passengers on the cruise ship Diamond Princess. So they are trying to figure out where all these came from. Also, another key person who had the virus was advisor to Iran's supreme leader, has died from coronavirus as other top officials have been affected. The advisor to Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, has died from the new coronavirus, as other top officials in the country are confirmed to be infected, according to multiple reports on Monday. Iranian Health Ministry recorded 523 new cases in the past 24 hours, bringing the country's known total to 1,501. They mark a 53% increase since the day before. Mohammed Mirhamadi, 71, was an Expediency Council member who advised Khamenei and settled disputes between him and Parliament. COVID-19 has already infected Iran's vice president and deputy health minister. The death comes after the government on Monday rejected help from Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, who announced last week the U.S. was concerned Iran may have covered up details on the spread of the virus. Which, oh, good God. Yeah. So, yeah, there's cases all over the place. Now we're going to see how significant these cases are. And, wow, not good. Anyway, let's it's that time. I gotta call it a day, but not completely. It's time for Twitter trends. Let's check the hashtag real quick. Thank you, Gunfox, for those articles. I've got some more reading to do. He gave me several on it. Those were the seems ones that I was that really drew my eye. Real quick, a quick check of the hashtag PDK. Why am I still on here? Come on. PDK News. Oops, what did I do there? It's PDK News. See if there's anything. Let's see. Okay. Ready to close up with these three bread puddings. Okay. Teresa Chiara, who also goes as Little Loken, send me this thing about bready puddings. I don't know. Caramelized banana, bourbon, bread pudding. Hang on a second. Looks like an article, or excuse me, a recipe. Now, I just want to go to, let's see. I'm not going to go through the process. I just want to go to the finished product here. Hang on. Let me go to the finished product. All right. And then you guys can decide. You can decide if this is something that you want to go with. I love me some good bread pudding, though. Oh, that's the baking part. Here, hang on. Let's just, here. Oh, there we go. Hang on. Here we go. Oh. Okay, she's just whipping up some whipped cream here. And I'm just going to watch, okay? In fact, I just made some whipped cream yesterday. Look at that. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. You're just going to have to go to the hashtag. Otherwise, I can do this. I can copy the link address, and I'm going to put that bad boy right there in the chat. You can right-click that and do it yourself. I don't know what she's doing there. I don't care about that part. So anyway, if you want to make some bread pudding, it's in the hashtag today. Something else was in here that I missed. Oh, okay. Drew Carey's ex-fiance. Okay, we already knew about that. All right, that's it for the hashtag today. By the way, another quick couple thank yous. Thank you, Skookum, and thank you, RVA, and Tyler F. for tweeting out the show. Also, Necrosaw Colin and Becca Farley, who do that on the regular. If you want to be helpful, you can always share out the show hitting that hashtag, or not the hashtag, the share arrow. That's down there. Why do I still have this screen on? The share arrow is right down there. Hello, Six. How you doing? The share arrow down there, and also hello, Jay Wolf, who popped in. We got 44 people in here today. That's a big group, man. Thanks for coming by. If you've not been here before, again, a reminder: hit the subscribe button right now, and also, if you like what I'm doing, if you like this stuff, if you enjoy having me talk about shit, hit thumbs up button right down there too. Except for Duck Dog, who's already done his duty of the thumbs down button, but that's him, okay? Hello, John Connor. And see, John Connor even says, hit the like button. John Connor. Is it John Connor? Is that John Connor from the Terminator movies? John Connor. Sarah Connor. Anyway. All right, let's check out what's trending today because we got to find out what people are talking about now so we know what you'll see videos and other articles and shit tomorrow. So today, trending number 1 on Twitter right now is Monday Motivation. That's a Monday. It's a day. It's one of the day hashtags. It always happens every day. The day hashtags always trend, especially in the morning. But let's see what some Monday Motivation we have for today. Here we go. This is what good old training day looks like on Monday Motivation. Oh, okay, look at this. Okay, so now here's a question for you. This is cute, actually. Now, there is a name for this exercise, and in different places, they call them different things. What do you call this exercise? I'm waiting. Hello, Mr. Scott. How you doing? It's cute because the dog's doing them too. That's hilarious. Except the dog's adding a roll. The dog's getting serious, throwing a roll in there. Some people call them pupper. Is that what you call it? No. Some people call them burpees. Some people call them squat thrusts. I don't know if there's another name. Okay, so you call them burpees. Okay, I got both right in a row. Some people call them burpees. Some people call them squat thrusts. Get to the kappa. Okay. Anyway, now Miss Krasenstein. Speaking of the Krasenstein brothers, if you remember them, the Trump trolls. Here it is. Yes. Oh, now originally they said Trump is responsible for it, but now he says, yes, Trump is partially to blame for the coronavirus outbreaks. Now, here are the lies that you're common, that Ms. Krasenstein, a.k.a. Brian Krasenstein, or the other Krasenstein, I don't even know the other one's name, because he was the uglier of the two brothers, which we like to call him. He states that Trump fired the U.S. pandemic response team. That is false. Cut the CDC's budget and its ability to fight pandemics. That is false. Called the Democrats' alarm about the virus a hoax. That is false. He called them politicizing politicizing information about it a hoax. And finally, rejected testing kits from the WHO offered. Really? Where exactly did you find that? And I don't know why he thinks that's motivation. Now, here it is. He says there are 24... Here's the... More Krasenstein. More Monday motivation from Krasenstein. There are 24 cases of coronavirus in Canada. There are 5 cases of coronavirus in Mexico. Trump is considering shutting down the Mexican border, but not the Canadian border. Yes, this is racism. Actually, you know what? Rather than the bell, it should have got one of these. He's restricting travel to and from places where the outbreak has been significant. So he's considering Italy. He's considering a lot of places. What? Wait, where is Trump considering shutting down the Mexican border and not the Canadian border? What the bloody hell? You know, here's the problem. Even if it were more cases in Canada than in Mexico, not a lot of people flee Canada. Oh my God. Okay, then one more motivation. Ghost Mouse. Leaping into Monday. Expectation versus reality. That's a cute one. And here we go. Our last Monday. Oh, nope. I was going to make this my last until I saw what was below this. Good morning, Lucille. A baby bear cat loves her hanging her hanging out sleep sack. So that's a bear cat hanging out in a. Who the hell has a bear cat for a pet? I hope that's in a zoo somewhere. Also, but here's the major motivation from Ric Flair himself. Rise and grind. Always remember what you're working for. Woo! All right, moving on. Let's get out of this one because we got to get through quite a few of these. Let's see. Number 2 is Army Selka Day. This is a K-pop thing, and if Patrice Ripley's in the chat, maybe you can explain what Army Selka Day is. BTS number 7 global artist, whatever that means. I'm not going to click it though because it's K-pop. Read it. Hashtag Read Across America. Hey, this might be good. Sometimes love looks like braids, puffs and twists. Hair love author. Anyway, it's about reading. It's a Read Across America Day. We did it. We donated 30,000 books to our community's kids. The back to school teacher store inspires and ignites reading, and our kids thank to our generous partners who made this possible. By the way, no posing was needed for these photos. Happy Read Across America Day. Absolutely, here it is. Join me in celebrating a nation of diverse readers. Diverse readers? How about just everyone read? Oh, God damn, they have to make it. Oh, we need diverse books. Let's just have kids reading. I didn't give a shit what my. Oh my God. Anyway, let's join me in celebrating a nation of diverse readers with meaningful stories that represent us all. We need diverse books. I'm not against it, but I don't care if we need to promote it. Oh, and Merriam-Webster says today is Read Across America Day, and we have a shirt to help you celebrate. Bibliophile, a lover of books, especially for qualities of format. All right, whatever. Let's go on. Moving on. Monday morning, we'll skip that one. Jack Welch, the former CEO of General Electric, has died at age 84. He's a popular figure. A lot of people like Jack Welch. I don't know what the fascination with him was, but anyway, Fortune magazine once called him manager of the century, but he also was known as Neutron Jack for slashing tens of thousands of jobs. Well, sometimes when you have millions of employees, you might have to slash tens of thousands of jobs. I don't know. Anyway, Matt Stoller says, I once wrote about Jack Welch in Goliath. He was a monopolist and exported American productive capacity to China. If I had my way, I'd put every GE plant on a barge, he said. So not everyone's going to be complimentary of Jack Welch today. Charles Payne, breaking news, Jack Welch has died at age 84, a true business legend, philanthropist, and business education advocate. He touched and inspired so many lives. Rest in peace. I'm going to stick with that as his obit for the final time I talk about him today. Corona outbreak is trending number 6, of course. The best known facts are the Center for Disease Control. So if you click any of these hashtags, you're going to see this button come up here at the top to make sure you get the best information on the novel coronavirus. Resources are available from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and you can click that. A lot of people talking about this. I'm not going to get into this one. Wait, what's this? Some guys don't wash their hands after using public bathroom. This is how we have to greet each other from now on. Hey, what's up, buddy? Yo. So get your toe tapping shoes. It'd be like go out and look like a kid and play video. If you know what that reference is, please put a 1 in the chat. Anyway, Judge Judy is trending. Oh, Judge Judy is going to end her show after 25 seasons. Next year will be the last season for the show, which will air in reruns after that, as the host plans a new series. Oh, she's not quitting TV. She's just starting a new series, ending her daytime show after 25 years. Wow, she's been on for 25 years. And Judy Sheindlin, after 25 seasons, has made $644 million in the past 17 years. Very popular show, mega on the old syndication train. So good for her. And also good for Green Badger Outdoors for being here in the show today. Good morning. All right. So anyway, so a couple people understood the Kid and Play reference. Awesome. All right. Artemis Fowl is trending. A new trailer for Disney's Artemis Fowl is here. I'm not even sure what Artemis Fowl is. Is that like... Okay, so people are... Let's see. Remember the name? It's Fowl. Artemis Fowl in theaters May 29th. Artemis Fowl is not the hero in this story. Holly is the hero. Artemis is the villain. Let him be the villain, you cowards. Okay, I don't really know. Oh, okay. Artemis... Okay. Okay, there's some... They're beloved books. They're beloved children's books. I didn't know what Artemis Fowl was. All right, moving on. Valorant, something in games trending here. Breaking, Riot's 5 vs 5 tactical shooter Valorant has been officially announced and its website put online. PlayValorant.com for nearly 3 minutes of Valorant alpha gameplay footage has been released and can be watched below. So look on the trailer. Look for trailers for that new Valorant game on Twitter and other places. Manchester by the Sea. What? I saw Manchester by the Sea trending, and I was afraid it died, of course. Let's see. I love seeing Manchester by the Sea trending. I think about that film often. The only person on earth who saw Manchester by the Sea 3 times in the theater. Let me inform you, it's the best screenplay winner of the 10s. I have not seen the movie. Apparently, people are talking about it for some reason. I don't know why. So go check it out. Moving on, Yannick Ngounoue will re-sign with the Jaguars. Oh, he no longer wants to re-sign with the Jaguars. Never mind. He's a football player for the Jaguars. Let's see. Players likely to be franchise tagged if no long-term deal is reached. Dak Prescott, Chris Jones, AJ Green, Shaq Barrett, Hunter Henry, Justin Simmons, and he's not even in that, so I don't know why they even have that in the list. But anyway, Jaguars might be losing a player. Let's see. Moving on. Monday Thoughts. We're going to skip. Robin Hood is... Why is Robin Hood trending? I got to get away from Robin Hood. Straight trash. Me trying to get Robin Hood to work at the opening bell every morning. Apparently, it's time for me to find a serious trading platform. Robinhood was cool in the beginning, but the platform has taken a big step backwards. Anyone suggestions for trading options on a good platform? Okay, Robinhood apparently is a trading platform that people use, but it crashes and has lots of issues. So don't use. Maybe don't use Robinhood. I don't know. Robinhood, already 23 minutes into market, and all these brokers aren't working, and I'm definitely losing money because of it now. You know what? Don't panic during something like this. Leave your money alone or buy. This is a good time to buy while things are dropping, because I don't think this panic, even if the coronavirus gets worse and worse and worse, stop playing with your stocks unless you're within 10 years of retirement. Okay? Just let it ride. Let it ride. I'm just saying. Or buy. My theory is buy. While it's low, while it's like it's unusually correction low. Whatever that said. That sentence didn't work, but you know what I meant. The Bachelorette. Claire Crawley has been named the next Bachelorette. Skip. Lose your job in 4 words. The hashtag we'll save that one for last. That sounds like it could be a funny one. It is Texas Independence Day, by the way, for those of my friends down in Texas. Becca, tell us, say something about Texas Independence Day in the chat, because I know you live in Texas somewhere. Hey, Izub, how you doing? Hi, Jay Wolf, and a couple other people, all right? The state of Texas is a state of mind. Texas is an obsession. Above all, Texas is a nation in every sense of the word. Author John Steinbeck. God bless Texas. Happy Texas Independence Day. 184 years and still the best. All right, so people are excuse me, excited about Texas Independence Day. Come and take it. That would be a canon on Texas Independence Day. 184 years today, on March 2nd, 1836, Texas defeated Mexico to become a republic. It is believed that the Lone Star was from the coat button a governor used as his private seal on an official document. In 1845, Texas would become the 25th state. So there you go. Okay, moving on. Pete to Biden. Oh, this will be interesting because I was waiting for... Oh, dude, what the hell is that? Oh, God. Who did that? Oh, my God. Rumor is spreading that Pete Buttigieg is going to endorse Joe Biden. Do you think we'll see his endorsement by the end of today? Pete to Biden. I was a Yang supporter, switched my bid to Bloomberg, then jumped on the Buttigieg train. Now I'm going to Biden. I highly doubt someone who dropped out to rally behind a moderate would encourage his supporters to join Bernie's campaign. Well, I tend to agree. I hope Pete's supporters realize he dropped out to stop Bernie, so the wise thing for them to do will be go with Biden. Pete to Biden. Okay, they are really... I'm all for a coalition to bring down President Trump. Pete Buttigieg would have been a wonderful addition to a Joe Biden cabinet, and I hope he will be given the opportunity. Come on board, Pete supporters. We welcome you with open arms. Pete to Biden, Pete to Joe. I saw some Bernie supporters too saying that, oh yeah, come on, Buttigieg supporters, you should come on over and join Bernie. I just don't see it. I don't see it. He was pretty much in the last debate he was in, said that you're going to kill the party if he's your nominee. I don't think Pete supporters who's heard that message are ready to jump to Bernie. Oh my God. I supported Pete Buttigieg because I believe in what he stands for and the direction he saw for our country. He inspired my family to continue to do so. We are now supporting Joe Biden as he shares the same vision and desire to move our country forward. Pete to Biden. Okay. Oh my gosh, Bernie does not respect women. He does not respect African Americans. He slanders Jewish Americans. He is not a Democrat. He's just a millionaire traveling in his private jets, attacking the capitalist establishment and praising Castro. He is the anti-Pete. Pete to Biden. Oh my goodness. It is going to get interesting. It's going to get interesting. All right. Then there's Pete to Biden, Pete to... Oh, now here's the Pete to Bernie hashtag. So Twitter, and in fact, here's what Twitter does. Twitter, which is probably has more establishment type Democrats than Bernie's Democrats, although there's probably a lot of each. Notice the numbers here. The Pete to Biden hashtag has 11.1 thousand tweets. The Pete to Bernie hashtag has 30.1 thousand tweets, and yet Pete to Biden is listed as trending before Pete to Bernie. Now it could be because the Pete to Biden ones are all more recently, or it could be just because they're manipulating hashtags like they do at Twitter, because they decide what they're going to leave in the trendings. But let's check the Pete to Bernie hashtag now. Okay, the first one, the top one, is rats don't have fangs. Interesting. Pete is about to go in full rat mode. He is baring his fangs aggressively. Okay, that's from the debate. We have a rat problem. These are the Bernie people who love Mayor Pete, or Mayo Pete, as some of them call him. No one likes a sore loser. Clearly Nevada doesn't like a rat. Okay, so this is okay. That's the hate for him. Let's see. Dear Dear former Pete supporter, we share the same values because Pete and Bernie share the same values. We prioritize healthcare, LGBTQ rights, early childhood education, and gun violence prevention. Hope you'll join us. Together we'll win. Yeah, weren't you just calling him a rat 3 days ago? Oh my God. Oh my God. As a Massachusetts voter, I love Elizabeth dearly, but I'm going to vote for Bernie. Very similar platforms, but Bernie has built the most winning campaign by far. Biden has no money, no organization, no energy, as Trump would say. Pete to Bernie. All you Pete people, please. They are begging Pete to join Bernie Sanders. What if Pete dropping out when he did was some sort of ploy to get his supporters over to Biden on Super Tuesday? But then Pete to Bernie took hold, and even that backfired on them. I'm pleasantly surprised by the flood of support for Bernie 2020 from Pete supporters. I doubt it. Press here, exit out. Exit out. I was pretty hard on old Pete, but the tide of his supporters who are now turning to Bernie is giving me hope. To all the Pete to Bernie peeps, we all deserve better than the current system. Thanks for helping make it happen. Get the fuck out of here. All right, so that's the Pete to Bernie hashtag. And coronavirus NYC is trending. Media, how could the coronavirus NYC have spread in the U.S. with no one knowing? Americans, my insurance doesn't cover this test. Americans, my job won't let me take time off. Americans, I can't afford not to live in close quarters with multiple people. Media, what a mystery. Really? Okay. Oh, so it's capitalism's fault that it spread so fast in the United States. Wait a minute. Where else is it spreading? China? Whatever. Oh, here we go. Easy. Wash your hands and don't be a racist. What the fuck? That didn't do anything with it. Oh my God, these people. Let's spot the racist difference. Story text. The first case was confirmed on Sunday to be a woman in her late 30s who recently traveled to Iran. A source told the Post that the woman lives in Manhattan. Okay. What's the racist difference here? When the stations are full of coughing people, coronavirus. All right. Now, real quick, since I did want to do this, I had a couple. I will go back to that one hashtag because it'll be funny. But I had a bookmark in particular that I did want to hit on today because this one just pissed me off. And I'll probably do a video about it because I don't have a lot of time. But here it is. Here it is. Listen to this. Okay. This person, Foxy Misfit Black Girl, Foxy Jezebel, whatever. Don't contact her, please. But y'all just, I don't know what that LRT stands for, but y'all just want free stuff. She says, yes, we do. So the fuck what? The things needed to cover basic human needs should be free. Food and water, housing, healthcare, education, public transit. I said what the fuck I said. The Protestant work ethic is not my God, nor should it be anyone's. Now, as I was reading this lovely thread, let's see if this one that came up near the top is still here. It may or may not be. Let's see. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can find it. It's said to the effect that he cannot believe that there are 4 basic human needs for people to live. Oh, I didn't even have it on the screen, did I? Here it is again. Where she says, all you want is free stuff. Yes, we do. So the fuck what? The things needed to cover basic human needs should be free. Food, water, housing, healthcare, education, public transit. Okay. And so as I was reading through this, and there was one that said, I can't, here it is. It boggles my mind that of the basic requirements for life, air, water, food, and shelter, only one is free for now. Now, I didn't get a chance to write my reply to this, but as I read this sentence, do y'all realize that of those 4 things that he's claiming are not free, 3 of the 4 have never been free, ever in the human existence? Do you realize that? The only thing that has been free is air. Okay? Water has never been free. Food has never been free. Shelter has never been free. Now, let me explain that. Those 3 things all require, you got it, Advocates Diabli, require effort. Or, in other terms, labor. Okay? You have to go get water. Unless you can accumulate enough water in your mouth from rain. Okay? But all of them require effort. You must have effort to get water. You must have effort to get food. You must have effort to have shelter, whether it being finding shelter or protecting shelter from people who would steal your shelter. Now, and that's what I don't get. That's what people don't understand. Either your effort, because in the wilderness, before there's any other people, right? You still had to use effort to get water. You couldn't water just didn't show up for you. Air all around you, you can't help it. But water, you got to go get. You got to go find food. You got to either hunt for food. You got to search for food. You got to pick food off trees. You have to have effort to get food. And shelter, the same thing. And so whenever you're thinking, so these people are saying, oh, you want all this shit for free? Well, it's never free. That's just it. These aren't the basic human needs. No matter what, you're going to have to put forth some sort of effort in order. Yes, even catching rain in your mouth requires effort. Somebody is going to have to put forth effort for all of these things. And so are you saying that other people's labor and effort should be free to you? I don't get this line of thought. And even in these so-called socialist utopias you dream about, you're still going to have to make effort. In Denmark, someone kept talking about Denmark. Well, in Denmark, the lowest tax rate is the lowest federal tax rate is 45%. So you are still putting effort in order to have money to get those things. Okay? And so it's amazing to me that there are people who think like this. I just thought I got a video in my head that I now that basketball season's over, I can start making videos again. And I think this one might be the first one. It just annoys the shit out of me that people think like this. It boggles your mind that the basic requirements for life, air, water, food, and shelter, and only one is free. It boggles the mind that you don't understand that somebody's effort is required to get any of those things. Be it your own effort. You saying water's not free? Well, go to a river and take a bucket with you. And then bring it home and purify it yourself. But even that wasn't free because your effort was required to do it. So you choose what your labor is, and you can choose whether you can trade that labor for something else. And we've come up with a monetary system that kind of quantifies labor in a certain way, and then that's how you get things. Okay, it's just what is so shocking about the idea that tax money should be spent on the fucking common good? It's not shocking, but we can make decisions as a society on what your common good is. Okay. Oh, and then so what's so shocking about the idea that tax money should be spent on the fucking common common fucking good. And then this person replies, and that the people who have the most wealth should actually pay taxes. Guess what? The top 1% that you like to bitch about, they pay probably more than 50% of all the taxes. The top 10% pay 96% of all the taxes. So shut the fuck up. Who do you think pays the taxes? The people with the least don't pay the taxes? They pay some taxes. They don't pay the bulk of the taxes. But you think, oh, for some reason, you think, and healthcare, really? Who gives you the right to take any of my time without compensation? Who told you that? Who told you that you should have something? You should have some of my time and my effort. There's only 3 ways you can get something from me that took my time and my effort. 1, compensation. You can find some way to compensate me, whether it be dollars, whether it be labor, whether it be trade, whether it be barter, whether it be other goods. You can compensate me for what I do. Number 2, you can rely on my generosity. I might be so generous that I give you something that is a result of my effort or labor. And the third one is you can steal it from me, or you can try to steal it from me. But if you try to steal it from me, or you do steal from me, don't get caught, because I'll have something for your ass. You ain't gonna like it. That's the only 3 ways. You know, we can decide as a society that we're gonna steal more money from somebody who has it, or just take it from them. But then again, guess what? Once you start, it gets to a point where you are stealing it from me, or just taking it by force, I might just say fuck it and stop producing it. And then where will you be? You'll still have nothing. So think about that. Now, on a lighter note, let's finish on something a little more fun. And I liked this hashtag that we skipped, and we're going to come back to, and we'll just get a good chuckle out of this one. Lose your job in 4 words. We'll finish with a few of these, and then we're going to get the hell out of Dodge. Lose your job in 4 words. Reheat fish in microwave. Yeah, have you ever got the microwave in the break room and someone's heated up something that's really funky? Lose your job in 4 words. Let's have a referendum. I don't know about that one. I don't get it. Lose your job in 4 words. Pharmacists used label incorrectly. Swallow whore. Oh, that's funny. Or just stop trying. You just stop trying. Happy birthday, Dick. Ha ha ha. Don't write that. His name is Matt. Lose your job in 4 words. Lie about the job experience. Yeah, I don't want anyone with no experience making tattoos for me. Let's see. Lose your job in 4 words. Screw up the display. This says back to school. Oh. Okay, I don't know if you see this. I'm gonna blow this one up. This is the back to school display. Oh, that's a good one, Selly Toys. Good morning, by the way. 4 words. Calling in sick again. There you go. The referendum was Briggs, I think. Okay, thank you, Faithless. And good morning, Faithless. How you doing? That's a great one. Let's see. Lose your job in 4 words. Alternative greeting to the boss. You know what? I've always seen that. Is that a real gift? Did he do that on some show once? I mean, that's just hilarious. Maybe it was a question and answer where they said, "Mr. Rogers, give us the finger, please." Lose your job in 4 words. Fight for injustice everywhere. That's not why he lost his job. He lost his job because too many NFL teams figured him out and designed their defenses to stop his sorry ass because he couldn't make a secondary read. Let's see. Jack refused to sign. I don't know what that means. Is that a non-disclosure agreement or what is it? Oh, disciplinary warning notice. Oh, he refused to sign. How to lose your job in 4 words. Oh my God. So he lost his job. Lose Your Job in 4 Words by Michael Scott. Start a competing paper company. That's a good one. Oh my God. Take career advice literally. Job for the dress you want. Oh my gosh. That's hilarious. All right. We'll do one more. Lose your job in 4 words. And this one's Epstein didn't kill himself. There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today for the Morning Night Live. I hope you had some fun today. I certainly did, especially with that last little hashtag, which is hilarious. If you haven't done so already, please hit the thumbs up button down there below on your way out and share the stream out to people you know. I'm here Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 3 p.m. GMT until that daylight savings time thing hits. And if you'd like, you can always support the channel with your donations through the PDawgNight.live website right down there. It is also the link to my super chats, which is through Streamlabs, and you can include a message that I will certainly read on the show if you're off hours, as in you're watching this on a replay. I will read it in the next show. Also, if you are watching a replay, please make sure you leave a comment in the comment section down below so that I know you're here. That's it for today, people. I just gotta go. Thanks for everyone who showed up today. Lots of people in the chat. We had I think we almost had 45 people in here today. That is awesome. It grows a little bit every time we do the show. Tell your friends and neighbors that we're here. Thank you, everybody. My name is PDawg Night, and I am out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is PDawg Night, and thank you for watching today on the PDawg Night channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawg Night, and I'm out of here.